Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is my Forbes colleague, staff writer Zach Everson. Zach, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me on again, Brittany.
Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fixer, has been on the stand in the former president's New York hush money trial. First, let's talk about his testimony. Over the past few days, has anything stuck out to you?
Not really. It's a story that he's told repeatedly. He's largely stuck to it, best I can tell. I mean, I haven't had a chance to go through the actual transcripts yet, but there's nothing that really stood out yet. Although he did the prosecution did just wrap with him, as we talked about this on Tuesday afternoon, and he's about to face the Trump's defense attorneys. So we might get some more information then.
So as you mentioned, it's a story that he's told again and again. He has been charged in the past with lying to Congress. Is he a reliable witness here?
No. I mean, it's never good to be a witness and have perjury in congressional testimony around your neck. He said he's come clean from that. We can expect that the defense attorneys are going to make a big deal about that, as they should. My understanding is that was part of the reason the Manhattan DA didn't bring charges earlier, was that there was a lot of internal debate within the office about whether or not Cohen was a reliable person here. But at the end of the day, his reliability may not be the most important thing, because there's a lot of documentation that's going on here that they have to back it up as well. Not as much as in the civil trial, but there's it's Michael Cohen is not the make or break, I believe.
You posed the question for Forbes, how much Michael Cohen has made hating on Trump. Here are the titles of his two books: Disloyal, a memoir, the true story of the former personal attorney to President Donald J. Trump, and Revenge, how Donald Trump weaponized the Department of Justice against his critics. How did these books sell?
They did great. The first one was a blockbuster. It spent 4 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Our estimate that we got from Circana Bookscan, which tracks this sort of publishing data, said it sold 290,000 copies. His follow-up book did okay. It was also on the bestseller list just a week, and it sold about 23,600 copies as of last October.
He also has a podcast about his time in the Trump sphere. There's a couple hundred episodes of that. Talk about his podcast for us.
Sure. I recommend go listening to the podcast where I'm the guest. It was a lively conversation with Mr. Cohen. It's actually on hiatus for a few weeks. He's not doing any social media and he's not doing any podcasts during the course of this trial, but it is certainly something where he has using to hate on Trump. Stormy Daniels has been a repeat guest, despite the fact that she had sued him at one point and they reportedly settled. From my experience on it, he certainly went out of his way to trash Trump when possible, and also trash people in Trump's orbit.
And is this podcast a lucrative revenue stream for the president's former fixer?
It does well. It's been amongst the top 350 most popular podcasts in the United States, according to Chartable. Some episodes have certainly done better than others. I'm going to suspect that the one with Stormy Daniels probably got a lot better numbers than mine did. I don't know what those numbers are, but it certainly seems like a solid revenue. He wouldn't have been doing it for 350 episodes if he wasn't making decent money off of it.
Michael Cohen really has been embroiled in this national scandal since 2018, when the Wall Street Journal broke the story of the payout. Can you talk about the other legal battles that former President Donald Trump and Michael Cohen have been involved in together?
Yeah, they've sued each other, which is something that you see happen a lot when people are involved with Trump. Cohen sued Trump for failing to pay his legal fees, as he claims Trump had promised. I believe that suit got tossed. Cohen appealed, it won, and then they settled. Trump has also sued Cohen for neglecting his fiduciary duty as his attorney. I can't recall the status of that one, but they've been embroiled in some lawsuits against each other, which is not surprising again.
And is this the end of the road for the two in terms of legal battles?
No. The end of the road for any legal battles involving Donald Trump is nowhere in sight. They continue. Don't count out Donald Trump. Michael Cohen's business is based on criticizing Donald Trump, so I would not be surprised if there's another lawsuit again involving those two.
That's an interesting point. His business is based on hating Donald Trump. Is this going to be lucrative for Michael Cohen in the long term? How much juice is left to squeeze here?
It's Donald Trump. It's been going on for decades, and we're still getting it. You and I are talking about it right now as I continue to report on it. So, yeah, it's not going away. I've made the mistake of saying it was going away in the past. That was wrong. I sounded foolish. A lot of other people have said that. Donald Trump, just when you think he's out, whether it's due to bankruptcies in his hotels or his marketing interests fading or, leading to an insurrection at the Capitol, he bounces back.
Michael Cohen's testimony really went viral for what he was saying about the former president's wife, amongst other things. When the dust settles from this trial, what's next for the former attorney?
Kicking back on the podcast, going back on TV. He's frequently a guest on CNN. More media appearances. I would not be surprised to see a third book coming out or some sort of other media, documentary or something like that.
Zach Everson, per usual, thanks for the conversation.
My pleasure.